so nobody has the knowledge of the hour except God. This is something that we all can agree on very quickly. Anas bin Malik reported that a person asked God's messenger, when will the last hour come? God's messenger kept quiet for a while, then looked at a young boy in his presence, and he said, if this boy lives, he would not grow very old till the last hour would come to you. So this is obviously a prophecy, that the hour is actually approaching very soon, that there's a young boy amidst them, and if this boy reaches a certain age, that the hour would have already been established in 1400 years.
Isn't there another version of this hadith that says that this is just talking about the boy's hour? It says your hour, not the last hour.
Oh, look, there's a mistake in this hadith. Therefore, the entire hadith, everything that the Prophet peace be upon him said, cannot be trusted. No, you idiot. That's not how hadith work. There are a couple of things to mention here. First of all, let's look at the hadith he used. Clearly, there is a problem with al-matn. If you don't know al-matn, of course, if you're a Quranist, let me give you a quick lesson when it comes to the hadith and the science of hadith. Al-matn means the words, the text that is used in this specific hadith. The reason why this hadith is still considered authentic is because it doesn't have any problem when it comes to the chain of narration. But if we understand the word as-sa'a, or the hour here, as if it's the day of judgment, it's clearly a contradiction with the other hadiths and the Quran itself, right? So why is it still considered an authentic hadith, a sahih hadith? Well, it's simple and it's not really rocket science. My brother here, Basil, actually mentioned that, which is in Sahih al-Bukhari 6:511. There's another hadith that explains the same thing, basically tells us the same story. So usually when the Prophet, peace be upon him, was asked this question, and he was asked this question multiple times, and so usually the way he responds is he would point at the youngest boy around, and then he would say, if this boy should live till he is very old, your hour, the death of the people addressed, will take place. And this is the correct lafz, this is the correct matn. So we know the actual meaning of that particular hadith that is mentioned, and that's why it was kept as a sahih, because we know the meaning behind it. Another thing to consider here is, those people, al-Bukhari, Muslim, and other scholars of hadith, when they come across this hadith, do you think they didn't understand that? They were still Muslims, right? They know exactly what they're dealing with. And why did they keep that hadith, right? If it contradicts the Quran, it contradicts what the Prophet, peace be upon him, said. These people came literally decades, hundreds of years after that time of the Prophet, and after that event happened. Did they just, ignore it? No. They know exactly the reason why they left it is because they understand the meaning. Al-ma'na. They know the manner of this hadith because they have other hadiths. And you know what? There's a lot of hadith like this. No one is saying that the hadith is infallible. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. And if you know a little bit about the science of hadith, just like the basics, you would not be making stupid claims like that.